Good morning, everyone. So let's start. So this is the chapter we are going to see today, engaging with form and content. So art communicates visual ideas just as speaking and writing communicate verbal ideas. So in order for our viewers to engage with art, we must interpret the visual language of the artist. We use a combination of various methods such as description, analysis, and critique to understand the appearance and meaning or content of a work. So we can also apply our own viewpoints or critique. So today, we are going to see the interpretive methods that are most frequently used and are most effective. Morning.
Good morning.
So we're gonna see for for the analysis method when you see a work of art. So first one is formal analysis. So formal analysis is based on these visual elements and the principles of design we've learned so far. So artists have many tools at their disposal, which we call the visual elements and the principles of design or art. So visual elements include line, shape and mass, light, color, texture and pattern, space, time and motion, right? And also artists use the principles such as unity and variety, balance, emphasis and subordination, scale and proportion, and the pattern and rhythm um, to organize the visual elements. So a work of art is therefore a product of the dynamic interrelationships between the various art elements and the principles. So with this knowledge of the visual element and the principles of design, then we can analyze a work of art. So that is formal analysis. So the process of analyzing the elements and the principles used by the artist is called formal analysis. To analyze a work of art fully and formally, one describes in specific detail how each element and principle is utilized within it. So this is Edward Hopper's painting Nighthawks. So it looks like it shows us a sense of absence and loneliness. We can feel that kind of emotions through this work of art. So now I'm gonna proceed the formal analysis based on the visual elements and the principles of design. So, excuse me, when making a formal analysis of a two-dimensional work, such as this painting, a useful aspect you can consider are the location of objects and the colors used and in the relationships between the parts of the composition. So in front of this building, the sidewalk wrapped around the curved diner on the street corner, cutting off the group of the people inside whom we see through the glass outer walls. The inside is brightly lit and in contrast to the street outside. So this makes the room a particular area of emphasis um, in this picture. So it further draws our attention to the people, and together with the use of brilliant color in the yellow wall behind the counter, expose them clearly to us, showing how isolated they are. So the stark contrast between the um, woman's red dress and hair and the black suits and hats of two guys, make customers, and the white uniform of the waiter make the figures more distinct, both within the scene and from one another. And the next analysis method, when you see a work of art, we can think about the stylistic analysis. So we recognize a style in our own lives. So the way we dress and arrange our hair reflects our personal style. So artworks also have a style or specific characteristics that make them look the way they do. So style allows us to recognize that an artwork was made by a particular artist. A group of artists might share a style because they all used similar techniques, worked at the same time, or studied in the same place. Style can be individual or shared by a group, school, time period, or a movement. So analyzing style allows us to make connections between artworks. So let's see two paintings. So everyone, can you find the similarity between these two paintings?
Maybe the color?
Yeah, the color based on the light, right? Mm-hmm. We can feel the light through the diverse colors in these two paintings. That's right. Very good. What else?
The brush strokes.
Very nice. You got it. Yes. The brush
Okay.
strokes are very similar between these two paintings, right? Yes.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. So as you can see, these paintings looks very similar, even though the theme is totally different. And the angle, look at the composition, the angles of the paintings. It looks it looks kind of unique, compared to the traditional paintings, right? So that can be another feature of these two paintings. So these are Impressionist artist paintings in 19th century. So Impressionism is a 19th century art movement characterized by relatively small, thin, but visual brushstrokes and the open composition, emphasis on accurate depiction of light in its changing qualities, uh, often accentuating the effects of the passage of time and ordinary subject matter, inclusion of movement, a crucial element of human perception and experience, and unusual visual angles. So Impressionism originated with a group of Paris-based artists whose independent exhibitions brought them to prominence during the 1870s and 1880s. So like the Impressionists, many artists who sought to similar concept and trends made a group, and they shows similar styles. So based on the specific styles, we can analyze the work of art. And the third analysis method when you see a work of art is iconography analysis. So iconography examines the visual ideas and symbols used in a work of art and leads to an interpretation of the work's meaning. Iconographic analysis identifies objects and figures in an artwork as signs or symbols that can reflect religious or historical context, and the meaning of which was often more directly understood at a time by a specific culture, but many now be less apparent to us. So let's see this painting by Edward Manet. The title is A Bar at a Folies Bergère in 1882. So he is also another Impressionism artist. So the painting is rich in details, which provide clues to social class. And the woman at the bar is a real person known as Susan, who worked at the bar in the early 1880s. So for his painting, Manet posed her in his studio, and uh, by including a dish of oranges in foreground here on the bottom corner of the painting. So Manet identifies the barmaid as a prostitute. Um, According to art historian Letty L. Lego, so who said that Manet habitually associated oranges with prostitution in his painting. So like this painting, artists can use some specific object to compact a symbol in their work of art, and to finding the meaning is iconographic analysis. And the last analysis method when you see a work of art is contextual analysis. So the content or meaning of a work of art varies gently between artworks. To understand the context of a work of art fully, and you will usually have to undertake some research in addition to looking very closely at the artwork itself. So there are two contextual analyses. So one is based on the religious context, and the other one is based on the historical context. So let's see the examples. So so this is a church built in Middle Age. So we're gonna see this architecture based on the religious context. So in Middle Age, about 1,000 years between 5th century to 14th century, Christianity art flourished in Western culture. And this is one of the famous architecture type in Middle Age, which is called Gothic style.
Good morning.
Good morning. So the Gothic style was steered by a powerful French abbot named Suger, who wanted to enlarge and remodel this church, the Abbey Church of Saint Denis near Paris. And he came to believe that an ideal church should have certain characteristics. It should appear to reach up to heaven. It should have harmonious proportions, and it should be filled with light. To fulfill those goals, his architects responded with pointed arches, ribbed vaulting, flying buttresses, and stained glass windows so large they seemed like translucent walls. So it is ornate, linear, and vertical elements that direct eye upward. So that is the religious context, contextual analysis. And let's see this work of art. So what you can see in this printing work, so what is it?
Professor,
Yeah.
what was your question again?
Seems as if he's drunk or he's dead.
Oh yes.
Right.
He is dead. That's right. So all we can see the dead bodies on the floors, right? So it looks like it seems like very terrible event happened in this work of art, right? So let's see the historical context to analyze this work of art. So this is a realism artist, Honor Domier's lithography printing work of art. He recorded a historically terrible event in this work. Major French cities, including Lyon and Paris, revolted. April 15, 1834, the Parisians stand the barricades in the streets. During the attack of one of the barricades by the army, Transnomian Street, an infantry captain was killed by a shot fired from a house. The next day, the soldier attacked very hard rioters and will break down the doors of the building at number 12 Rue Transnomian, supposed to be the one from which the party was shot. So all residents of the building, including old men, women, and children, were massacred. So a bloody event that will remain in history as the massacre of Transnomian Street, imaged by the painter and caricaturist Honor Domier. So like this, we can analyze a work of art based on researching a historical context. So, it could be said that all interpretation involves a balance between fact and opinion. Analysis involves careful consideration and discussion of specific aspects of an artwork, while critique offers a theoretical framework for understanding it. So critics of artworks often highlight the ideas, opinions, experiences of the viewer. So this section's topic is kind of tricky, but this is the basic concepts for art appreciation. So I hope you could apply this analysis method when you see a piece of art. And we have a discussion today related to this chapter. So this is it. So everyone, I need you to go to discussion 4.2 after the meeting. So you will see 3 paintings in this forum. Then choose one of them and proceed formal analysis. So this is today's topic. And this discussion is really important because, I mentioned we have an essay question in the midterm. I mentioned that on the very first day of the course, right? So this is it. So this is going to be the essay question. So you're gonna see a work of art, and then you're gonna proceed formal analysis. So
I get a question.
yeah. So let's
Okay, so
remind, huh?
so for the formal analysis on the PowerPoint, I saw that there's elements and principles, right?
That's
And
right.
then there's colors, balance, those stuff.
That's
So
right.
we choose a picture and talk
Mhm.
about maybe the colors and balances and
Very good.
yeah.
Yes. Yes, Anna. Perfect. Yes, like Anna said, so formal analysis is, it's not really hard because we don't need any knowledge for the artwork when you see. So you can just analyze the artwork based on the visual elements and the principles of design we've learned so far. So, like you can see, the visual elements include line, shape and mass, light, color, texture, and pattern, space, time, and motion. And the principles of design include like unity and variety, balance, emphasis and subordination, scale and proportion, and pattern and rhythm. So you're gonna find these features in a work of art as much as you can. So that is formal analysis. So for example, oops, where is it? Okay. Okay, so for example, for this painting, when you proceed the formal analysis, maybe uh, 1 second, we can talk about the line first. So, the artist using, oops, the lines are so immature. So the artist is using the 1 point linear perspective in this work of art like this, when you um, connect all the lines of the furniture, then you can see there is a vanishing point. So he's using the 1 point linear perspective as one of the visual elements. And also I can see the artist used the green and the yellow color. These colors are complementary colors to show the simultaneous contrast, right? To stamp in the viewer's eyes, right? And also, he's using the, the implied space, as I said, like 1 point perspective to create the, three-dimensional space on the two-dimensional surface like that. And also I can see all the furnitures and the dress looks like real, right? So I can say the artist used the visual texture to create all the texture on the painting looks real. And and we can talk about the principles of design through this painting. So I can see asymmetrical balance in this work of art. So there is a dark form on the left side, and there is a light form on the right side, and these are same size, but the usually dark one looks heavier. So you can say asymmetrical balance. And also I can talk about the emphasis and subordination. So I can see these two figures, the couple looks like a couple. So they are the emphasis in this painting, and the background, the room, the furniture, and the cute dog and the shoes are the subordination. And in this emphasis, the couples, in this couple, I think this pregnant woman is the focal point, right? So like that. So that is formal analysis. So you're going to practice the formal analysis through this discussion. So you're going to choose one of them and then proceed the formal analysis. So this is going to be really good practice for your midterm exam. So that's it. Any question?